It was the sound of the door latch that woke me. A soft, metallic click that sliced through the stillness of the resort's midnight hush. I blinked, disoriented at first, then turned toward the other side of the bed, empty. The sheets were cold. My wife, Lily, was gone. The ocean murmured outside, waves folding over each other like whispers. A thin sliver of moonlight stretched across the room, glinting off the gold of her abandoned wedding ring on the nightstand. My chest tightened. She never took it off, not even in the shower. I sat up, listening. Footsteps padded across the wooden deck, then faded into the night. My pulse quickened. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe she went for a walk, couldn't sleep, needed air. We'd been tense lately, arguing over things that used to roll off our backs. I almost convinced myself to lie back down. Almost. But then I saw her phone. She always kept it glued to her hand, even on vacation. Tonight, she'd left it charging beside the bed. The screen glowed faintly with a single notification. "See you soon, speech balloon." My stomach dropped. I grabbed my hoodie and slipped outside. The air was heavy with salt and humidity. Crickets sang from the palms, and the faint thump of distant music drifted from the resort bar. I spotted her silhouette ahead, barefoot, her white dress catching the moonlight as she walked quickly down the path toward the beach. I followed, careful to stay in the shadows. My heart pounded so hard it felt like it echoed off the walls of my chest. The sand was cool beneath my feet, soft and silent. She stopped near the edge of the shore, glancing around as if making sure she wasn't being watched. Then someone stepped out from behind the dunes. A man. Tall, lean, shirt half unbuttoned. I couldn't see his face clearly, but I didn't need to. The way she smiled at him, soft, familiar, intimate, told me everything I didn't want to know. He reached out, brushed a strand of hair from her face. She leaned into his touch. My breath caught. He kissed her. Not a nervous, secretive kiss, but one that belonged to people who'd done it before, many times. I felt the world tilt. For a moment, I couldn't move. I stood frozen, watching the woman I'd built my life around melt into another man's arms like it was the most natural thing in the world. When she finally pulled back, she whispered something I couldn't hear. He laughed quietly, took her hand, and they began walking down the beach together. That was when anger replaced shock. It hit me like fire in my veins, hot, trembling, alive. I followed them, keeping my distance, watching as they disappeared into one of the cabanas near the water. The fabric curtains fluttered in the breeze, glowing faintly under the moonlight. Inside, I saw their shadows merge. I couldn't breathe. I stumbled backward, my legs weak, the sand shifting under my feet. My mind screamed for logic, for reason, for any explanation that didn't destroy everything I knew about her. But there wasn't one. For 10 years, Lily had been my world, my best friend, my safe place. I'd loved her through debt, miscarriages, exhaustion. I'd believed we were stronger because we'd survived those things together. But standing there under the indifferent stars, I realized she'd been slipping away for months. Maybe longer. I wandered back to the room, numb. Her phone still sat on the nightstand, glowing faintly. I stared at it, torn between rage and the need to know everything. My hands shook as I opened her messages. The man's name was Ethan. He'd been texting her for weeks. "Can't stop thinking about last time. He doesn't appreciate you like I do. One more night. That's all I need." And her reply, "Tomorrow. When he's asleep." I sat there, reading message after message until the letters blurred. The truth wasn't just betrayal, it was a story they'd been writing right under my nose. When the door opened an hour later, I didn't look up. She froze in the doorway, her breath catching when she saw me sitting there, her phone in my hand. "Adam," she whispered. "You're awake." My voice was low, steady in a way that scared even me. "Where were you?" She hesitated. "I couldn't sleep. I went for a walk." "Try again." Her eyes darted to the phone, and I saw the moment she knew. Her shoulders sagged. "Adam, please." "How long?" Tears welled up instantly. "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" I asked quietly, because from where I stood, it looked exactly like what I think. She broke down, covering her face. I didn't mean for it to happen. I swear. It just happened. I said, cutting her off. You just happened to sneak out while I was asleep. To meet him. To kiss him. To lie to me every night. Her sobs came harder now. I felt empty. Adam. You've been so distant lately. We barely talk anymore. I needed to feel something. The words twisted inside me. So you decided to destroy the one person who still believed in you. I didn't plan it, she whispered. He listened. He made me feel seen. I thought I'd lost that with you. The quiet that followed was heavier than any argument could have been. Outside, the tide hissed against the shore, dragging the night away grain by grain. I stood and walked to the balcony, staring at the horizon. You could have told me, I said softly. We could have fought for it. Instead, you threw us away for a stranger who told you what you wanted to hear. She stepped closer, her voice breaking. Please, Adam, I'm sorry. I'll end it. I'll do anything. Just don't leave me. I turned, and for the first time, I saw her, not the woman I'd married, but the stranger she'd become. The same stranger who'd left her wedding ring behind. I picked it up, weighed it in my hand, then set it on the table. You already did, I said. I packed my bag without another word. She cried behind me, whispering apologies I couldn't listen to. When I reached the door, she grabbed my arm. Please, don't go. We can fix this. I looked at her one last time. No, I said. You can't fix something you shattered on purpose. Then I left. Outside, the air was cool, sharp with the scent of sea and betrayal. The first light of dawn brushed the sky pink. I walked past the beach cabanas where they'd met. The curtains still swayed in the wind, ghostly and silent. As I passed, I saw a man standing near the shore, Ethan, alone now, watching the water. He turned, saw me, and for a moment, we just stared at each other. No words. No confrontation. Just two men, both realizing the same truth. Neither of us really had her. I walked on, leaving him there. By the time the sun broke the horizon, I was gone from the resort, suitcase in hand, heart hollow but strangely calm. Because sometimes, the moment you lose everything you thought you needed, is the same moment you finally see who someone really is.